Well, my husband and I have spent the last several years traveling to northern Uganda. And back in 2013, we were asked to go and be guest speakers at a conference in a small town called Lira. And so I think of conference, a lot of like what we have here, what we're all a part of this weekend. And I show up and realize that this conference is in a field with a huge makeshift tent, wooden benches everywhere for thousands of people. And I've been asked to do a workshop for couples. About 6 months prior to that, I participated in my first externship, and so I was really excited to share a lot of the Hold Me Tight material and a lot of the material that I had learned, and to do a basic introduction for couples about attachment theory and also about their negative cycles. I was a little nervous though when I showed up because I realized I can't use any PowerPoint. I can't show any slides. This is just going to be me explaining this through a translator and hoping that this gets through. Well, when it was time to have my workshop, um, I stood in the kind of the middle of this conference area, and couples were told if they wanted to participate in my workshop, they could come and bring their chairs and gather around me. And so here I am with my translator standing in the middle of a couple hundred people, and I started to explain attachment theory, and I started to explain how in relationships we long for emotional connection and how our patterns just get us stuck. So after some time, I stop, and through my translator, I ask, is any of this making sense? I mean, is any of this getting through? Because these are folks that live in a completely different world in so many ways than me, and many of whom don't speak English. So my translator asked, is any of this getting through, and does this make sense? And I saw heads nodding all around me. And so I asked people to share. I asked people to give their input. And this is a culture where relationships are not always openly talked about. That's something that's very private and very personal. And so it was incredible and inspiring to see one person after another stand up and start describing their negative pattern, and describing it as if I had spent hours working with them and helping them to map it all out. It was that moment of standing there and hearing people that had just learned about this theory describe their patterns, and to get it, and to see that cross language divides and cultural divides and racial divides, and to realize that this is a model about human connection and from all different walks of life. And that is why I believe in this model, one of the reasons why I believe in it so wholeheartedly.